Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Premier League Talks. Today we are discussing on the Premier League fixtures which are going to take place this week. I'm going to discuss in detail mostly every fixture, especially the top 6, and also I'm going to discuss on the surprise pack, the FPL talks and a lot more. So before we start, do hit the like button, subscribe button and please support the channel guys and not wasting any of your valuable time. Starting off with the first part today, and we all know we're going to discuss on the Premier League. And now, starting on the first set of fixture list, and Anshul Bhai in the chat. Namaskar, Anshul Bhai. Thank you so much to support the channel. And whoever is watching, big up to you and hello to all. And you can see the list one. These are the first Premier League lists we have got the fixtures coming up. This is Fulham versus Chelsea on a Saturday. This is Bournemouth versus Brighton, Southampton, Brentford, Liverpool versus Wolves at Anfield, and Leicester versus Aston Villa in a sad derby at King Power Stadium. So, people, we all know these are some very, very exciting fixtures. Fulham, Chelsea, the new post-Tuchel era, which is sad for me, but it's exciting for, I think, neutral. Along with that, Bournemouth versus Brighton. Are Bournemouth going to win a match? And thank you, sir. I'm Shrey here. My name is Shrey. Ankit Bhai something. Ankit Bhai different, but thank you so much to come to the channel and hope you are subscribed as well. And we also have Ivan Toney. Can he score a double today as well? He was my captain last week, people. So my FPL is going good. And we have got Anfield battle versus a defensive solid Wolves versus Liverpool and a sack derby. So first we are going to talk about Fulham versus Chelsea and what to expect from Chelsea post Tuchel. Now, everybody has been aware that Thomas Tuchel sadly was relieved of his duties yesterday by Chelsea owner Todd Boehly in an awful decision, in a very bad decision, the way it was handled. People, I'm not going to talk to you much on that because I have discussed in that in the previous video, but it broke me apart. I'm very, very sad. And Ankit Bhai is United Blues FC people. Please do subscribe to his channel. And coming on to that, people, Fulham versus Chelsea is a very exciting match in that regards. Now, I'm not going to rant today why Tuchel was sacked. Why did the owners do this? I've done it already and I've got all my anger out of people. But being very, very honest with you people in the best way, it was an awful decision and the way it was done has hurt me. Thomas Tuchel, I'll always love you. And now discussing on Chelsea and the post-Tuchel Chelsea era. This is the first match of Chelsea post-Tuchel era. Now, we all know when a manager is sacked, you see a reaction. So there has to be, and yesterday I saw you on Ankit Bhai channel. Oh, no problem. That's cool. Yes, I was in the channel and we were doing a Champions League watch along and wow, Napoli 4, Liverpool 1. My goodness, did not see that coming, people. And along with that, Chelsea post-Tuchel era, you will have eyes on Hakim Ziyech. You will have eyes on Christian Pulisic because these are the players who look very unhappy under Thomas Tuchel. And a lot of fan bases are celebrating Thomas Tuchel sacking as well. That see, my player is now going to get chance. He's going to be in the lineup. So it's so good right now to see what do they do. Because people on this channel, if those players do not perform, I will come very, very hard for them. Because they were responsible to sack my favorite Chelsea manager. And now they've got him sacked. I will come very, very hard for them if they do not put the right display here. I'm still hungover. Not by drinking, but due to sorrow of TT departing. Same here. I was like in literally private. I was crying because for me, I was watching a Champions League rerun. Anshul Bhai. Yesterday, I opened my video and I saw the video and I was crying because I was watching a Champions League glory that days. Thomas Tuchel and the players touching his shoes. Like that was a great moment and I'll always love him. And who will manage Chelsea in this week Premier League? Big report, people. Graham Potter is at Cobham right now. So just before I started this video, Graham Potter has reached Cobham. And Graham Potter might be in attendance for the Fulham game. The manage for the game, sir, it will be done by Anthony Barrow. So Anthony Barrow will take over this game, in my opinion. What is wrong with Liverpool? They need a midfield and attack overall. Anshul Bhai will come on Liverpool later in this part, only in this segment. On Chelsea, it's a big, big match today for us against day after tomorrow against Fulham. Now, Fulham have been one of the most impressive teams right now in the Premier League. Everybody expected them to not be this good. It was many people were anticipating Nottingham Forest to be the surprise factor. Many people anticipated Bournemouth and Fulham to straight away go down. And wow, have Fulham been one of the best team in the league so far in terms of newly promoted teams. They beat Brighton, who are most informed team. They took Liverpool till the end and got a draw. They lost 2-1 to Arsenal. They lost 2-1 to Tottenham. And they have been putting on some fantastic work, people. And Fulham are a great team. Craven Cottage, they play high-intensity football. Marco Silva is a magnificent manager, people. And this is going to be a very, very exciting match, people. and I'm very excited, people. And Anshul Bhai, with an update, Graham Potter is going to be announced Chelsea manager shortly, most probably 3 p.m. UK time, which means I think it has to be announced by now. I think it will be done by 1 hour, I believe, Anshul Bhai. So on Fulham, people, I think there's going to be a post-match reaction by Chelsea. Now Tuchel is sacked. Pulisic might put a 9 out of 10 display. Hakim Ziyech might put a 9 out of 10 display. So we will see some good displays here. And I do see us beat Fulham. I think this could really be convincing, to be honest, because I think when a manager is sacked, players do give a reaction, especially to impress the new manager. I can see this match, Fulham 0 and Chelsea 2, in my opinion. And the post-Tuchel era will start with a victory. Now, can Brighton continue their good run? Now, people, on Brighton and Hove Albion, their next week match is postponed against Crystal Palace due to rail strike. So this is the last match for Brighton before the international break. So Brighton will put everything possible they can to win this match. And can Brighton continue it? They are capable of it, but can they sustain it? That's the question. Brighton's next week's match, people, again I repeat, has been postponed against Crystal Palace due to the rail strike. So this is Brighton's last game in this international break. So Abhishek Bhai in the chat, thank you so much, Abhishek Bhai, to support the channel. Thank you so much, and big up to you, Abhishek Bhai, as well. I will miss Tuchel handshake war with Conte in Premier League. I think I will miss him. I will miss him, and I still make me cry. What happened with him? It just makes me cry so far. Who will bully blame now? Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech are not up to the mark. Who is the scapegoat? The only thing I will love to say to my fellow Chelsea fans is I'm getting a bit worried of Todd Bowley. I think the way he's running on, he's been too hands-on right now, and I think he's becoming a bit of interruptive presence that has to be. I'm being very, very honest. I'm not happy with the way he's managing, but hope it goes well, because people, a club will overbe always any manager, any owner, any player. I'll keep supporting Chelsea whether it's managed by anyone. But the thing is, right now, I'm very critical of the way Todd Bowley is running things, to be honest. And Abhishek Bhai, the same sentiments that we all have been speaking, gutted and in disbelief. Abhishek Bhai, we could not even believe. Like, absolutely broken what has gone down, and I'm ashamed the way they have treated it, to be honest. And I think Chelsea is going to win. And is this a start of a decline? My club is in danger. I do agree, but also Abhishek Bhai, the thing is we have to see how it goes. I think Abhishek Bhai, I also said in the last video as well, I do think they wanted to sack Tuchel from the start, but because he has such a good bonding for the fans, they were waiting for the moment where form goes bad. Some Chelsea fans like always go tipsy-turvy, out in, and they sack him. That was their plan, because Marina has left the club, Bruce Buck has left the club, Peter Cech has left the club, Scott McLennan has left the club, and the new owners, I think, are trying to put a new team. Now, I don't want to fully blame them, because a new owner comes with a new plan. But I'm telling you one thing, the way he has treated Tuchel, and if it does not work, I won't come for the next manager. I will be very kind to the next manager, but I will come for Todd Bowley. And overall, I'm very sad with the way they did it. If they really wanted to sack him, you could have sacked him in July and let him go to some other club and let the club go in a different way. You kept him on, gave him 6 matches, and now you suddenly say, Tuchel, you can go. It's very sad, Abhishek Bhai. Very, very disappointed. So I think people, in the post-Tuchel era, Chelsea is going to win their first game, Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Going on to Brighton, I think Brighton cannot continue their good run, people. I think Brighton are a team who always struggle against a team that plays with them in a low block. Now, Leicester is a team that plays attacking football under Brendan Rodgers, so Brighton enjoyed playing with space. I do think, people, in a very, very honest way, I do not see Brighton beat Bournemouth. I can see this match end in a 1-1 draw. People, Bournemouth are coming with a magnificent motivation after coming back from 2-0 down against Nottingham Forest. Solanke scoring very good goal and assisting as well in the last minute. So Solanke doing a good job as well. And Bournemouth winning a very, very important last game as well, people. And with Bournemouth and Brighton being a very match where Brighton are expected to take the ascendancy, I cannot see them being able to do that when your manager is at Cobham discussing talks. So I don't think that's possible. And I think it's going to be Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1. Taking some questions here, people. Just imagine Chelsea fan response if the club goes backwards. We are the club whose supporters stop the game to cancel the Super League. Exactly. I think we need to give some response. I'm being very honest, Anshul Bhai. Players, for me, on the pitch have to be given a response by the fans, either booing or simple message. You let down Tuchel, you let down Thomas Tuchel. It has to be rung around Craven Cottage that these players know that they cannot get away with more player power, because another innocent coach has lost his job. Another coach who came with great ambition. And people, on a sad note, I do want to make you one update that Manchester United and Barcelona made an approach to Thomas Tuchel in March to sign for the club, but Thomas Tuchel said that I will be loyal to Chelsea in this situation, and we sacked such a guy who said that even if we cannot travel by plane, I'll myself drive a 7-seater, but we will play the match. We sacked this kind of guy. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. And can Potter manage these big overs with average ball abilities? Players won again, managers scapegoat again. I agree. But Abhishek bhai, I just don't think this is to do with players as well. I think Todd Bowley has his own thing. I think really honest, Abhishek bhai, I think Todd Bowley and Thomas Tuchel fell out. Reports are coming out that Thomas Tuchel did not have a very good understanding with the other owner that's along with Todd Bowley as well. I don't know his name very well. I cannot pronounce it well, so that will be a problem. But Thomas Tuchel and the other owner of Todd Bowley, they did not have a good understanding, and they were already falling apart. So it's not a surprise that this has happened. Bowley is continuing Abramovich legacy. I don't think so. Abramovich in last some years have been very patient. He did not sack Maurizio Sarri even after we lost the match 6-0. We lost Bournemouth 4-0. He only sacked Frank Lampard when it seemed like top four was not possible. And he was also very patient with Mourinho until we were near to the relegation zone. So I think Abramovich changed his ways. And I think Todd Bowley has done something I could not even dream of, because this is ridiculous. Now people going on Ivan Toney, and can Ivan Toney score more goals against Southampton to continue the good start for him and Brentford? Now, people, Southampton and Brentford is one interesting match, because if anyone in the FPL team has like Che Adams or Ivan Toney, both these players are capable of scoring in this match. It's going to be a very, very good match between Southampton and Brentford. Southampton at home this season have been really, really good. I really like Bell Kachop. He's such a good player. I think Lavia is a very, very good signing by Southampton. Kyle Walker-Peters is really, really good at the right back position. Adams Armstrong is looking like a very good pairing as well. I think now Southampton have found a bit of balance in their side, and they are looking good. While Brentford at Mbumu and Ivan Toney are looking very good as well, people. So that's a very, very good news. I think Ivan Toney is on his form of his life, and he's playing some stuff we could not even think about. His last match, people, was magnificent. That performance was a top world-class striker performing to his limit. And Ivan Toney should be a target for Chelsea next year, or Manchester United, or even an Arsenal for the future, because he's that good of a player. Now, 50 million for him seems like a peanut, the way he's playing. I think, people, I can see this match end in a very entertaining draw, 2-2. Southampton are a team that scores goals, plays attacking football, and I can see this game end Southampton 2, Brentford 2. Now, going on, Liverpool versus Wolves. A match which is very important for Liverpool with the form they're undergoing in. Now, who would have thought that Liverpool will lose to Napoli 4-1? We all thought, people. I was in a lot of channels, and even as a Chelsea fan, I back Liverpool. They're the mentality monsters. I back them. They're a very good team. Jurgen will bounce back. Trent, they've got players like Robertson. They've got players like in the backup, Simicast. Thiago will be back. Jota will be back in some time. They have Salah, the FPL cheat code for everyone. They have Alisson. And I thought that this is impossible. Liverpool, people are overreacting on Liverpool, because Liverpool are an amazing team. Amazing team. When they play at their best, they are one of the most scariest side in the world to play. It is not a joke when you reach the FA Cup final, win it. Carabao Cup final, win it. Champions League final, lose it. Premier League, you get 92 points. That is not a joke. This side is still the most capable side of going on a 10-15 match winning run. So on doubting Liverpool, I will never even do that. Never ever bet against a Jurgen Klopp side, people. That's a very kind advice I can give you as a Chelsea fan. I'm still not very much like going on, oh, Liverpool are down and out. No, I'm not putting Liverpool down. But now, where the problem comes is, this is where their ownership is being caught out. This is where Liverpool squad is being caught out. Their ownership do not put enough money into the club. They have been living off the cocktails of Jurgen Klopp being one of the best managers in the world, and Michael Edwards, who was one of the best director of football in the world. Now there's no Michael Edwards. Now the market is very expensive, and now their players have got exhausted from playing gegenpressing football, and when they needed reinforcements, their board is not doing that, and this is why Liverpool are in massive trouble. People, Sir Alex Ferguson was a master of rebuilding squad. Sir Alex Ferguson always used to change the squad. Oh, Rooney does not have the mentality to play. Let me bring another player. Sir Alex Ferguson changed generations and generations of Manchester United team to just be competitive. This is why you need to build a side. Every side has a 6-year cycle and then you have to change it. Every side has a good 5-year cycle, you have to change it. Chelsea had a very good cycle. Diego Costa, Cesc Fabregas. We had a very good cycle. Ivanovic, Terry, all that. But in 4 or 5 years, we had to change that. Along with that, Chelsea had a very good cycle from 2004 to 2012. But how many times did we change our squad? City have signed Calvin Phillips. City have signed Alvarez. City have signed Haaland. City have let go of players like Leroy Sané. City have building a squad for the future. They've even signed a Kanji. City keep on evolving. The problem with Liverpool is not evolving because of lack of funds. And the lack of funds depends on the management, depends on the authorities, and this is where Liverpool is failing very, very badly. Can they recover? Yes. I do see them get a draw against Wolves. I think Wolves are a team, people, we all need to appreciate, and a team that is very hard to beat. People, Wolves have players like Podence, Neto, Adama Traore on the counter attack, and they're going to be defensive. They have players like Kilman at the back. They have a midfield of Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, Matheus Nunes. Just tell me, can Liverpool midfield of Harvey Elliott, Jordan Henderson, Fabinho? Now, Henderson is injured, so most probably it might be Fabio Carvalho. Can you see Liverpool defensively break down Wolves? I don't think so. I think this could be Liverpool 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, but I think Liverpool will recover in the future. And after international break, if they don't recover, then the signs are very, very scary for what's ahead. Now, people, discussing on the sack derby, the derby of Brendan Rodgers versus Steven Gerrard. Two, you can say, Liverpool formers, one a legend and one who was so near to win the title. That's the way, people, and they both are in massive, massive trouble. Now, Leicester City this season have 1 point in 6 games. That is ridiculously bad, people. 1 point in 6 games, and that point came against Brentford. So Brendan Rodgers, it is the worst of his life, people. One of the worst form he will ever have, and he's in danger. Fans are wanting Rodgers out, but this is, people, where I throw a spanner into the works. Brendan Rodgers will cost Leicester City 10 million euros to sack. 10 million euros to sack. This is where, people, the danger is. He will cost them 10 million to sack him. How can you sack him when you have to pay him 10 million and the club is already undergoing financial crisis? While Steven Gerrard is in a massive, massive, massive trouble as well. They got a much needed draw against Manchester City, but the start of the season is not good. They spent a lot of money, and people, he is also massive trouble. And people, when we have a match where two managers are on the verge of losing their jobs, fan bases are divided, negativity, drop points, the only result possible is a traditional 1-1. I can see Leicester and Aston Villa draw 1-1, people. I think it's going to be Leicester City 1, Aston Villa 1. So my final prediction for this list is Fulham 0, Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1, Southampton 2, Brentford 2, Liverpool 1, Wolves 1, Leicester 1, Villa 1. People in the chat, do put your predictions of these fixtures, and can you see any manager being sacked? Can you see Liverpool recover? And all the other stuff, people. And you are watching, it doesn't take much. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and please support the channel, guys. Now, Liverpool could have lost 7 or 8-0. It was an absolute disgraceful performance. I agree, Anshul Bhai. I watched that, and that could have been 7-1, 8-1. Liverpool were bad, and Alisson was their best player at that part. Sack derby, I guess Brendan will win the sack race. I think Brendan Rodgers might not be sacked, Anshul Bhai. It will take Leicester 10 million to sack him. But yes, if the relegation looms in here, I think Leicester will take the step. But the quality in that lineup, Jamie Vardy, Castagne, Harvey Barnes, I just cannot see anything happen that they will win the relegation battle. Now, going on to the second list, people, this is an exciting list. The next 5 fixtures, and we have got Manchester City versus the bogey team, Tottenham Hotspur. This year, Manchester City beat Crystal Palace, their so-called bogey team. Can they repeat that, or are Tottenham going to again beat them? Then we go on Arsenal versus Everton, the derby between Lampard and Arteta. Now, can Lampard get something back on Arteta, or Arteta is going to show what he's made up of, and Arsenal will remain top of the league. Then we have got the best match out of the top 6, West Ham versus Newcastle. The two teams who aspire to break in the top 6 in the future as well. So that's a massive news for all of us people. Now, after that, we have got Crystal Palace versus Manchester United, people. Now, United have been in amazing form. 4 victories on the trot, 12 points in 6 games, playing some magnificent stuff. And now they will be up against Patrick Vieira's motivated Crystal Palace side. Selhurst Park, Wilfred Zaha, Eze. Can they handle it? We'll see. And then we have got Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest with so much spending, 21 new players signed. Can Nottingham Forest continue it and survive? Or are they going to be in a massive crisis? Let's start with the first fixture today, people. And the first fixture we're going to discuss about is Tottenham to again beat Manchester City. And are Tottenham the title contenders? So, can Tottenham beat Manchester City? Absolutely, they can. A team with players like Son, Kane, and they also have players like Perisic up there. They have players like Bissouma, Richarlison scoring goals now and looking such a good player now and such a good backup to right now to Harry Kane and Son. Then you have got a very good team playing such good stuff under Conte. Yes, they're not beautiful to watch, but you do not get a prize to play beautiful football. They're efficient, they're getting the points, they're getting the wins, and that is the most important aspect of football, people. Along with that, Manchester City have not been at the best, but Haaland is breaking record after record after record, and they are winning matches even after being 3-1 down, 2-0 down, and that's what true champions do. Now, people, in my humble opinion, this match is written a draw all over it. I think this is going to be entertaining 2-2 draw. I think Tottenham will break them on the counter and might even lead this game both the times, but Manchester City and their quality will prevail. And I think Haaland might get a goal in this match. And this will be Manchester City 2, Tottenham 2. Now, our Tottenham title contenders. Now, people, I want to run you down to a bit of memory lane. Chelsea, 5 years back, 6 years back, were the title contenders. Everybody thought that Chelsea can win the Premier League. Everybody thought that can Chelsea do that? We were on a great winning streak. And then we had Manchester City at Etihad Stadium. We were 1-0 down. Kevin De Bruyne missed a sitter. And we beat them 3-1. People, what a statement it could be for Antonio Conte to beat Manchester City away from home to show their title credentials. It is possible, people. They can beat Manchester City. And they are a title contender because Liverpool right now are in all sort of trouble. But people, title contender doesn't mean that you will be a proper title contender. At the moment, the way Premier League season is going on, we might see a distance of 7 to 8 points between the first and the second team. Now, going on the second match, Arsenal versus Everton, Mikel Arteta versus Frank Lampard. Will Arsenal stay top of the league? They lost to Manchester United this week, but they're still at top of the league. 5 wins, 1 loss, and still Arsenal have been fantastic this campaign. You can say, along with Manchester City, they have been the best team in the Premier League so far. They play a highly motivated Everton side at home, a side who have signed some players in the deadline day, a side which is slowly but surely are looking good right now. A side which is doing a magnificent stuff so far, people. I have a lot of respect for Frank. I only wish the best thing for Frank as well. And he is doing, at the moment, at least a fine job. A draw at home against Liverpool is a massive result. Neil Maupay versus Arsenal after what happened last time. You still have players like Dwight McNeil, Demarai Gray. You have got a midfielder in Onana who is doing a good job. You've got a good back four. You've got Pickford who in the big games plays up to his life. And people, Everton are looking good as well. Now, on Arsenal and Everton, people, I'm getting a feeling. I don't know why. I think this just might end in a draw. I don't know why. I do think this match can end in a draw. So I'm very sorry, people. I do think this match can end in a draw. But I won't be surprised if Arsenal beat them. And I think even still, I still think Arsenal will remain top of the league because Manchester City and Tottenham will end in a draw as well. So that's also a massive, massive thing, people, we have to remember as well. And along with that, going on towards the next picture, talking about that is West Ham versus Newcastle. This match will be taking place at the London Stadium. Will West Ham finally win a game at home this season? They have only got 4 points in the league this season with a victory coming against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa side away from home. While Newcastle have been a very good team, they were undone by last week by a pathetic decision where they should have beaten Crystal Palace And till now, Newcastle have done a very good job so far this season. So, both the teams are spending big money. Both the teams have aspirations to challenge for the top 4, top 6 in the future. Now, which team will win the derby of the team that in future will be a top 6 Premier League team? I think, people, this is a draw written all over it. West Ham won, Newcastle won. Now going on, and Professor United with a big claim, Bowley will be like Glazer. Sir, first of all, don't make me afraid because I'll fall down on the stream as well. But on the second way, I don't think so they will be like Glazers because there's a clause that Roman Abramovich put in his contract, anti-Glazer clause, which means Todd Bowley will have to invest a minimum amount in the club. So our future is still very, very secured. I agree, sir, I agree. But there's a clause by Roman Abramovich, anti-Glazer clause, which is why Todd Bowley cannot take dividends out of the club for a particular year. That's the spanner into works for Todd Bowley. And big up to him. Well, people, do subscribe to his channel. He's a United fan and a great fan channel, people. Now, on Palace United, people, this is a massive test for Manchester United. They have been the form side right now in the last 4 games. Beating Liverpool, beating Arsenal, beating Southampton away from home, beating Leicester. The places they really win. They rarely win at King Power. They really win at St. Mary. They beat them both, and now they beat Liverpool at home as well. The team that thrashed them 9-0 on aggregate last year. They are playing some good stuff, counter-attacking. Saint Anthony, Malacia looking good, Dalot looking good, Martinez proving his doubters wrong. You have got Casemiro coming in, and he might debut today in a proper full game in a Europa League match. Ronaldo is looking good and very determined from the bench as well. Rashford is on his form of his life. People, this team is in a great form, but can they build on it? Because it's easy to counter-attack. It's easy to play on the counter, but can they beat Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace side, which is going to play low block? Can they beat them? I don't think so. I think this has a 2-2 draw written all over it. I think, people, United will play very well, but I think it's a 2-2 draw written all over it. And I will say one thing to Manchester United fans in the chat: be calm and patient with Ten Hag. There will be some great days in this process, but there can also be some bad days. Love to respect the manager. Don't be like Chelsea fans. Back the manager and back the process you're building. And taking on, now going to the last fixture of this list, Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest. One side which has signed 21 players this summer, and one side which has done a good work replacing Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. One side has signed players like Aronson, Tyler Adams, Roca, Christensen to replace the importance of Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. And on the other side, there's a side which has absolutely changed everything possible, signed 21 new players. You heard it right. 21 damn new players. I've never seen this happen in my life. I've never seen a newly promoted side spend above 150 million. That is insane. Now, the question here, people, come is this sustainable? Can they really survive with the spending? Or they could be in a massive, massive debt trouble in the future as well. That is a point, people, we all need to remember, and we all need to understand, people. We need to be very, very understanding in that regards. And these are the things, people, we have to understand, in my humble opinion. Now, for me, Nottingham Forest have to stay up in the Premier League, people. They have to stay up in the Premier League. That's a question we have to see, in my humble opinion, people, that they have to stay up in the Premier League. If Nottingham Forest get relegated with signing 21 players, they could be in a massive financial problem in the future. So they have to survive. While Leeds, they've done a good job of replacing Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, but that doesn't mean that they've improved as a side, and they will be near and near about the relegation battle. This is a good match, and I think this could be a 1-1 draw, people. Both sides under pressure. Nottingham Forest losing a 2-0 lead, so they will be very much hurting as well. While Leeds United are playing some very good stuff, but I think they still have inexperienced side, which will learn the hard way to gain that experience as well. And taking some questions here, and sacking Tuchel was an absolutely shameful decision by Todd Bowley, and I don't want to say anything else on Todd Bowley here, people. Graham Potter replacing Tuchel is like, oh, no. I think Graham Potter is a good manager. You cannot compare him to Ole, in my humble opinion. And taking a question here, and Spurs and Conte can probably show the Premier League how to stop Haaland and Manchester City scoring. But Anshul bhai, the only problem is Tottenham have players like Harry Kane and Son on the counter. Many Premier League teams do not have the caliber of that players, in my opinion. So that's the thing we have to remember as well. And now going on towards other important topics of today, and now I will give my more proper talks singly on Big Six, then we'll go on the other side, and then we'll go on the FPL part. So people watching, do hit the like button, subscribe button, and let's have a good day, people. Now, going on Manchester United and a bit of talk regarding Manchester United. And first of all, I'll start with Marcus Rashford, a guy who was in not a good form, a guy who has been disrespected, but a guy who is putting in the right performance for the club, is putting in the right passion now, and is back to the player I've always known, a player I've always admired. People, Marcus Rashford is back this season, and he's back to the player we've already known. Now, my question with Marcus Rashford is, can he do that against a low block side? Can he do it against a side where he has to do something big? He has to dribble, he has to create, he has to find the space. That is the question that has to remain answered, because Marcus Rashford is a magnificent player, people, an absolutely magnificent, a very magnificent player, a very good player. And Marcus Rashford at his best with the pace he runs is unchaseable for many, many defenders. But people, now the question comes in, can Marcus Rashford do it against a low block side? Can he do it against a side where he will have three people in front of him and he has to beat them? That is the question, people. I still have a lot of doubts regarding Marcus Rashford. Now, will we see Ronaldo playing more matches? People, I think Ronaldo will play a lot of matches in the Europa League, but I think he's going to be the substitute in the Premier League. People, I think the attack for Manchester United for most of the season is going to be Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, and I think that is the attack they're going to play with. But Ronaldo till now has shown good professionalism. He has played very well coming from the bench, and I don't see that changing. So that is the thing, people. I do want to let you know. I think Ronaldo will be a massive part, and he can be the impact sub that United have needed for a very, very long time, people. Now, going on, talks on Erik ten Hag. Now, he's a manager, people, I always admire, and a manager I have a lot of respect for and a lot of time for. He's a very, very good manager, Erik ten Hag. A very fine manager, a very good manager, and he has done a good job. Now, I think at the moment, many rivals are going about, oh, but they play counter-attacking football. It's no different to Ole. But he has to do that because the squad still is not good enough and getting top four is important. But people, I will say one thing. I can already see a lot of patterns of play, and it's good to see that Erik ten Hag is ready to change tactically. He's not a very stubborn manager on his particular style of play. And also, a message to Manchester United fans, be calm, be patient. It's not going to happen immediately. Give some time and people, things will happen. Now, a Palace is a massive test of improvement for Manchester United. Low block, they're going to be strong, they're going to be physical. Wilfred Zaha, Ezekiel Eze, they've got some very good players up there as well. Tyreek Mitchell, they've got good defenders. And people, this is going to be a massive, massive, massive test in my humble opinion. We have to respect that, and this could be a test which gives me more idea of what Manchester United are made up of. Now, we go on Manchester City, and can they beat their bogey team Tottenham? Now, last year, Tottenham beat them 1-0 under Nuno, and they beat them at Manchester Stadium 1-2 under Antonio Conte. That's the way they played last year as well, towards their bogey team, 2-3 I believe last year as well. So they are a bogey team, and Tottenham always trouble Manchester City. So that's the first concern for Pep Guardiola. So I think they might not beat Tottenham, but I do see them getting draw. They are right now defensively horrific. They're absolutely horrific so far, Manchester City, conceding goals from goals after set pieces, conceding 3 versus Newcastle, 2 versus Palace. I think they're not looking good defensively, and I think Antonio Conte will absolutely use it to his advantage. Now, will Haaland break all the records? People, he's going to break records. He is going to break the top goal scorer record. The pace people he's going on with is insane. He's absolutely insane. Even if he plays 20 games from here, he is going to score 25 to 26 goals. He is in an insane form, people. Absolutely insane form. And Haaland will break mostly all the record. And at the last question for Manchester City, can anyone challenge them? If Liverpool drop off, Chelsea have already sacked a manager. Arsenal still are not ready, people, in my humble opinion. Tottenham still have a lot to prove. Sadly, this season, we might have a season where City will easily cruise it and win with a 10-point gap towards the second team. Now, we talk about Tottenham here, and can they continue their good run with Manchester City? People, it is very possible. Tottenham are a very good side on the counter. They love to play on the counter. Kane, Son, Kulusevski, player like Richarlison on the bench. They've got Bissouma, they've got Perisic, a good squad, and they are more than capable of beating Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. I don't see them beating them, but I do see them getting a draw at the Etihad Stadium. Now, will we see Son score, especially against one of his favorite opponents in Manchester City? Yes, people, Son will score this week. Mark it, clip it. Son will score this week, and it's going to be Manchester City 2, Tottenham 2. Now, are Tottenham title credentials this season? Are Tottenham a title threat towards Manchester City? Now, people, so far, I like what Tottenham are doing. They're an efficient side. They rarely draw. They rarely lose. They get the job done. They win the matches and they come home. That's what sometimes is required for a true champion. But again, it could be too early, and Tottenham's biggest test is against Manchester City. Can they win a match where everybody is expecting big things from them? Can they? I think this is a massive factor to see that. And let's see, can they beat Manchester City or not? Because this could be a massive, massive statement to show everyone what they are made of. This makes me move towards Liverpool, and people, we've got a lot of points to discuss. First of all, on the FPL cheat code, Mohamed Salah. What the heck is going on with this guy? I love him to bits. He's a very good player. I respect him. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I have a lot of admiration for him. But Mohamed Salah right now is in ridiculous form. Yesterday, his touches were not fine. His finishing is not at the level. And he's not looking at the Mohamed Salah that used to scare defenders. They used to scare the opponents. And he's not looking at the player he is. Now, that might be due to a bit of tiredness. That might be due to the hectic last season. But that's no excuse. And Mohamed Salah has not been the player we know. He's not shown us the form we've known from him. And I think that's a massive, massive concern. Now, on that terms, people, I do trust Mohamed Salah to come back. It just takes one game for a player to build his confidence. It takes one game for a good performance. And I can see Mohamed Salah pull something big as well. So I do trust him, but you need to be very, very honest. And finding it super hard to choose the right midfield. My team at the moment is super strong with a good bench in preparation. Finding it super hard to choose the right midfield. My team at the moment is super strong with a good bench in prep for game week 8 to 14. I think you're doing a great job if that's the case in FPL, because my FPL right now is in tatters. But let's hope that improves as well. And for me at the moment, I will say one thing. Mohamed Salah is still a player I won't doubt. I won't rule him out. He will come back. He's a true champion. But something is just not right at the moment. While Klopp, what's happening? I think many people have been referring to his Dortmund times. 7 years, too much. Klopp caught out. People, I don't think so. He's been caught out tactically. It's a 6th year now, and still he can pull some great results. So tactically, I think he has not been caught out. He's a very, very good manager. Now, is it 7 years? But people, at Dortmund, he was not allowed to build his side. Every year, he loses a big player. Sometimes Lewandowski, sometimes Götze. At Dortmund, they were a selling club. Liverpool are not a selling club. Salah will remain with them. Big players will remain with him. And only players leave who themselves want to go. So that's a massive part, people, we need to remember. Now, I think what's happening is with Jurgen Klopp is he's in a rebuild phase, rebuilding a side. And that is where the problem is coming. The midfield is on. He has lost Wijnaldum. He has lost Mane. Henderson looks injured and not at the pace he has to be. Milner is not the player he used to be. And now Liverpool have to again build a side for a sustained success. Liverpool era from 2016 to 2022 was a very, very good era. They produced some fantastic performances. One of the most dangerous sides in Europe. And they were fantastic. But now for Liverpool, it's time to go towards a new era, new players. And I think that is where Klopp is struggling so far. Now, coming on to FSG and FSG's lack of spending and the backing at the club. Are they the Glazers? I cannot say that because they're smart people. At least what FSG have done at Liverpool is they appointed one of the best managers in the world, the best director in football in Michael Edwards, and they got a sustained success. But now the thing with FSG is FSG put Jurgen Klopp as a manager, which reduced their chance to fail. So that's a massive, massive part, people. We have to remember they appointed a very, very good manager in Jurgen Klopp. Along with that, they spend very rare money, and a lot of money is recouped from player sales in form of, you can say, Coutinho and all the sales they've got. They've even sold Origi, they've sold Solanke, they've sold I for big, big money. And that's helped them to sign players in the market. But even when they reached, they won the Champions League and they lost the league title by 1 point, the only signing they gave to Jurgen Klopp was a goalkeeper in Adrian. That is a disgrace. I think the problem with FSG is I see FSG happy being top 4, and Jurgen Klopp is a lottery they hit, and appointing the right people, Michael Edwards, appointing the right manager is what's got them sustained success. But now, when the problems have started striking in, let's see, will they back the manager now, or will they let him go and get some other? I can tell you one thing, they won't find another manager like Jurgen Klopp. They will not find any manager in the market who is at the caliber of Jurgen Klopp. So now either FSG will have to change their ways regarding the spending, or Liverpool will keep on struggling the way they are right now. Now, is this a repeat of 2021 season? They have some injuries, Thiago injury, they've got Konate, they have got Jota. So there are a lot of injury concerns for Liverpool to worry about. Now, I cannot see this being a repeat of that season, but the way it's going so far, it does look like a repeat. So that's a massive, massive concern, people. Now, can they defeat defensively solid Wolves? A Wolves who have a midfield of Ruben Neves, Matheus Nunes, and João Moutinho. A Wolves which have a very good defense. A Wolves which have a counter attack of Podence, Neto, and Traore. They are going to be a hard team to stop on the counter, people, and they are going to be a very hard team to play against, people. That's the thing, people. We need to be very, very honest with ourselves. And this is the thing, people, we need to understand that they are going to be a very, very hard team to beat this season. Now, Liverpool are struggling defensively. Liverpool are struggling offensively. Can they take on? That's the question we have to remember. That can they take on this team for me? Because Wolves will be defensively very, very solid. Wolves will try to counter them in a very, very good pace. Along with that, Wolves have a good defense, good midfield, Ruben Neves, Nunes, and along with the Moutinho. So, people, this could be a difficult task for Liverpool, in my humble opinion. Mane was the soul of Liverpool for energy and pressing. They sold their soul, and thus they seem to be suffering. It's not even that, Anshul bhai. I think a lot of players have reached their end. Henderson is not the player we know. Milner is not the player we know. Darwin Núñez is a traditional striker, not a presser. And that is where I think Liverpool are changing as a team. But they haven't done enough, and this is why they're struggling. Now, going on, I think talking a bit on here, and just a second, people, going to talk a bit about Arsenal here as well. I'm so sorry. Just giving my bit of opinion on Arsenal as well. That is also important. And just having a bit of talk about Arsenal. And now, people, on Arsenal, they have been a very, very good this campaign. We have to be very honest with ourselves that they have been a very good team this season, Arsenal this season have played the best football in the Premier League. We have to be honest. Odegaard has looked very good. Saliba has been just impressive. Good management, Mikel Arteta. You can say other player, Gabriel has been the more rash player, if I'm being very, very honest with you, people. Along with that, I think Zinchenko in the matches he has played has looked good. You can say the midfielders look good. The attack, Gabriel Jesus is everywhere on the pitch and doing a very, very good job. And Arsenal are looking a good team. Now, people, you cannot doubt them straight away on one bad game. Every team loses a match. Every team loses a day. You cannot say Arsenal, oh, they're over, they're bad. No. The thing is, they won 5 matches in a row, and it increased the expectation of the fans that, oh, we can be the title contenders. We can. No. You are a top 4 team at best. You are a top 4 team at best. And right now, I think Mikel Arteta, he is in a very good job. Now, for me, the thing is that at the end of the season, we have to see where they finish. If it gets them the Champions League qualification, great job. If it doesn't get them, I think he has to be sacked. So it's no in between for me. But so far, they are looking like they might get top 4. In my opinion, no. But they are looking like that. And overall, they are playing some very good football, the best football in the league. I think the next match for them is Everton. Now, Everton are going to be a tricky team. Neil Maupay and everything. But we have to see Gabriel, what a steal. Absolute. What a steal Gabriel Jesus has been. What a steal this guy has been. Just fantastic. And I can see Gabriel Jesus troubling Everton a lot. But the thing is, Arsenal have to show us more consistency. Now, if they lose to United and they went on and lost or draw to Everton, that's where they lose their all credibility. They have to go there. They have to beat Everton and forget the defeat they got. People, Arsenal are a very good team. They are playing the best stuff. It hurts me as a rival, but they are playing the best football in the Premier League so far. But we need to be very honest with ourselves. You cannot judge any team on the basis of 6 games. We have to see more. We have to see more what Arsenal are capable of, people, as well. Now, this makes me move on to Chelsea, people. My team, Chelsea. And it's time to talk a bit about Chelsea here. Now, Graham Potter. Is Graham Potter the right appointment for Chelsea's future? Is he the right manager that we require? Now, people, Graham Potter is a manager I've always admired and a manager I've always respected. He has done a magnificent job with Brighton, losing player after player after player and still being sustained success. He is also known to have a degree in humanity, science around, and he's a very intelligent person who has a very good relationship with his players, good psychology, and along with them, Graham Potter plays some good stuff. The way McAllister is playing, the way Pascal Grob is playing, the way Leandro Trossard is playing, the way Solly March is playing, they are a good team. They are a very, very good team. But now I have to be very, very honest with yourself. Can he handle the big egos at Chelsea? Can he handle the dressing room pressure? Can he handle fans being, oh, I'm Potter out because we lost the game? Can he handle that? That's a question it will always remain. But it will be a good appointment, and I always back the manager we got as well. And Abhishek Bhai, with how do we end up getting a trash striker every single time? I think we are just cursed, but I do hope Aubameyang changes that for us, Abhishek Bhai. And now, will we see improvements in the match against Fulham and overall under the Graham Potter era? Now, people, being very, very honest, we will see a very good performance against Fulham because that's what you call a manager sack push. The players are going to perform at their best, especially players who wanted the manager out. So I can see that happening. In the future as well, I think Graham Potter is going to improve a lot of players. But can Graham Potter get us to 2 cup finals, Champions League trophy, Club World Cup trophy? We'll know in a time. But one thing I will let you know, people, in a very, very hard way or a good way, is Potter is a manager who will need time. But fans have to be patient. He's not a big tactician like what Thomas Tuchel is. Thomas Tuchel is one of the best tacticians in the world, one of the most knowledgeable tactician in the world. And Graham Potter is an upcoming manager, a very talented manager, a manager who might be much better than Tuchel when it comes to psychology, but Tuchel is much better than when it comes to tactics. So that could be an interesting battle, people, as well. Now, what's ahead? We have to beat Fulham because we have to beat Fulham. We have to remain in this top 4 race or even better. And along with that, we have to win a Champions League game that's coming up so that we are not in trouble to fall off to Europa League stage. And the next week, I'll be happy with the draw against Liverpool. And then the new manager gets the time with the players on the training ground. And then let's see what we are made of. Because Graham Potter will need 5, 6, 7 weeks with these players before we see his idea of football. So we need to get results in between that and stay in the top 4 or even better and qualify from the group stage as well, people. Now, taking a bit of question, Potter switched his wingers to wing back as well. Look at Solimas. Absolutely. So people thinking that we're suddenly going to play back 4, that's not going to happen, people. And Pulisic must be worrying. No. I think Pulisic will love to be in the Potter because I think their wingers are more attacking. But the thing is, I will say one thing, Abhishek Bhai, in a very, very good way, is if Pulisic does not perform now, I'm going to come very hard for him. The manager has been sacked. Their fans have been going on Tuchel. Now, if he doesn't perform, then it's on him and no other can be taking him now. It's enough player power now. Let's see what they do. But overall, I'm very, very sad with the Tuchel sacking as well. And overall, people, I do expect a bounce. Manager bounce will be there. We will beat Fulham. But the thing is, I do want to see sustained improvement. Sadly, there's no point talking about Tuchel getting sacked now, sadly, because that's done. That's just it. There's no benefit of crying when already that's happened. But I think it's a bad decision, but let's hope it does not turn out to be. And Graham Potter turns out to be a good appointment. I think he's going to be a great appointment, but he's a long-term manager. It won't be a sudden success. And are you ready to be patient? Or are you straight away going to be manager out after just one draw? Now, going on towards rest of the Premier League matches we have got talk on the rest. Who will get sacked? Rodgers, Gerrard, or both will survive. I do think people both will survive this season. Rodgers is impossible to get sacked because Leicester have to pay him 10 million. And the only way Leicester do that is if they are near to the relegation zone, which is not possible. And Steven Gerrard for me will be safe as well. He will get some result. And this season, he will stay, in my humble opinion, as well. And officially, people, big up. Thank you, Anshul Bhai. Potter has been announced officially as a Chelsea manager. Welcome, Graham Potter, to Chelsea. And hope you have a great here. And if you can revive Pulisic Trossard, I'm just expecting too much. I think that just might be too much of a shake by, but let's hope it works well. West Ham Newcastle, one of the biggest match other than the talk we've been doing. And I can see this end in a draw. And in future, I think Newcastle has a much bigger height than West Ham. Brighton and Brentford, for me, both will get a draw and they might not continue the good start. I think Brighton, with managers joining some other club, will be distracted and their next week match is postponed. While Brentford, for me, are still defensively very, very scrappy. And I do see Brentford falling off a bit here. While Nottingham Forest, for me, people, I think sadly they will be relegated. But I do hope they stay up. They are a Royal Premier League club. And if they continue this overspending and they go down to the championship, they might never come back with the pressure of the spending. So I do hope what goes with them goes well. And can Bournemouth surprise us all? I do think they will be relegated. But I want to see a fight. I don't want to see another Norwich. I want to see a fight. And I hope they put us for all of us. Now, I just want to give a chance to Chalobah. We're underusing him. Absolutely agree to Abhishek Bhai. And Chalobah is a Tuchel player who he developed. So Tuchel has to be given credit for the development of Chaluba. Now, that makes me move on to FPL short talks. Now, Ivan Toney is a player you can go with people if you really want him in a side. 7 FPL money, very good player, can score goals. So that's the thing people I advise you. Now, Mohamed Salah versus Wolves looks a difficult bet. He can score. He did score last time, and Liverpool are a team against Wolves where penalty will play a big part. So we have to be honest with ourselves that there is going to be a penalty in this game, people, because I think the only way Liverpool score is if Wolves player tackles them in the box as well. So do go with Salah, but there's no guarantee he's going to score or not. He is in my team, so I cannot remove him. There's no benefit. But if you have no Salah, I think it's better you keep that until you use a wild card. And Gordon versus Arsenal is a very good choice. If you're using a wild card, Gordon is a cheap player who contributes mostly in every game. So do look out for him as well. While for Chelsea people, I will say you need to have Reece James in a team. You need to have Ben Chilwell in a team. That's 2 players which have to be in a team. And for me, not now, but when you use a wild card, do put Aubameyang in there. And I think this week Kai Havertz might start against Fulham as well. While at the moment, I just cannot see Haaland not scoring against Tottenham because Eric Dyer versus Haaland is going to be a battle that's going to be very interesting. And I can see Haaland score 1 goal at least in this match. Not 2, not 3, but just 1 goal. And Son and Kane versus Stone and Diaz. People, both Son and Kane will be involved. Either assist, either goal. People, this could be a high-scoring game, 2-2, 3-3. I do think there will be very much goals in this game. People will say it could be tight. I don't think so. Tottenham won't be able to handle City for long, and City will not be able to handle Tottenham's counter. I think it's going to be a great game, 2-2, and I think Son and Kane both are going to be involved with goals. While in Leeds versus Nottingham, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be 1-1 draw. So you can try it for a Harrison, and while sadly Rodrigo is injured. And from Nottingham, you can try for a Brennan Johnson or even a Nico Williams. While Rashford against low block Palace is interesting because Rashford is right now in everybody's FPL team. But can Rashford play well and continue that? Or will Rashford fall off? That's the thing, people, that's very much to look out for as well. And Bowen versus Newcastle. Now, Bowen is a player I always admire. He did a fantastic job last season. Scored around 12 goals, 10 assists. He was very good last year. Assists from corner kicks, assists from simples, goals on the counter. But Gerard Bowen has not been the player we know he's capable of. So I will have in my team. I will keep him. For people who don't have that, is your choice. But I do see West Ham getting a 1-1 draw. And I do see Bowen getting an assist at least in this game as well. Now, that brings a bit of end to this video as well. Taking some final questions. And Koulibaly or Fofana needs to be dropped for a couple of horrendous games recently. I think Koulibaly has to be dropped, not Fofana. But Abhishek bhai, we have to understand. We have to give new players time. We have to give Koulibaly 1 month to adjust. And I think that is why I will still play Koulibaly. But I respect your opinion. And if he gets dropped, I think Chalobah has to come in. All young players will flourish under Potter. Keep an eye on Hutchinson. I think that will be a big part as well. Anshul bhai as well. And my bench boost is on this week. And Mo Salah gets his last chance with game week. I think Abhishek bhai, do keep your wild card safe or a free hit. Do keep it safe because I will use it as well after international break because things will be more clear then which team is going to do well, predictions, all the things. So that is why I do think keep it. But I think Salah at some point in this season will flourish. So that's a risk I think we have to either take or leave it. So on that note, people, thank you so much to join the video. Big up to Abhishek bhai, Anshul bhai, and every other people who have not mentioned in the chat. Thank you so much. El Chachem as well. And thank you so much, people, to support the channel. People watching, it doesn't take much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please support the channel, people. Thank you so much, people, to come. It was an absolute pleasure to host you. Please subscribe to the channel. More content in short videos and live is coming. So please, people, do support the channel. Thank you.